Hello everyone, I am your host Slide, and today we are reviewing the 86 movie accurate Hotrod. Now, I'm quite excited to be reviewing this figure because he's the first figure I guess I'm reviewing where he has a lot of accessories and lots of cool little details and features in his model. So, to start off with, he looks very good. He looks very cartoon accurate, and even in his headlights there, well, not his headlights, but where the front of his grill is, you can see he's got lots of like little details that give him that 80s sort of feel. Overall, very nice and a very slim figure, and I quite like it. I like it. Now, to start off with, actually not, I'll save it for accessories, but he can look up that far, so we're getting started on the articulation. You look up that far, look down that far, so pretty decent movement both ways. Sorry, I was holding it a bit too high. There you are. Then he can T-pose to a solid 90 degrees. Then you can get a almost 360 degree spin. I don't know, I'll move you guys back a little bit so you can actually see this figure. So he can almost do a full 360 spin, it's just his wing stops him, so he unfortunately only gets just above 180. And sort of similar thing with the back, he gets just a little bit, he just gets blocked by that wing again, giving him only a 90 degree back turn. Then we come up, he has a swivel here on his, what would you call that? His elbow, so you can twist there. Then he has a bend the elbow, which does just above 90 degrees. His wrist does have rotation, which is nice. And as you saw there, finger movement. Articulated fingers, there you go, that's the word I'm looking for. So that is very exciting to see, because this is the first figure I reviewed with the articulated fingers. So that is awesome to see, and they luckily have been keeping that up with a decent few figures. Anyways, moving down to the legs, which the legs are probably the weirdest articulated part, but I think that's due to transformation. So we're going to keep his arms clear. Leg can kick up that far from the waist swivel or waist joint, and can kick back only that far actually, due to his back kibble and stuff. But he can swivel out to there, so quite a high swivel. And we come to his knee, which again, due to transformation, has very weird ways that you can pose him. You can have him as a, dinosaur-legged, chicken-legged hot rod. And then he can bend backwards as well. So you can bend, well, yeah, I'll just bend it fully, there you go. Bend just above 90 degrees. But what you can also do, due to transformation, you can bend it earlier there, giving him a weird sort of bend if he's about to kick something. It's just kind of really weird posability. It kind of makes him hard to stand sometimes, but it's alright. It works. We come down to the legs, his feet can move in and out like that, and he does have an ankle pivot, but it's not very much due to his foot sort of having that guard there that heavily blocks on. There you go. Show you in the light. Blocks it quite a bit, so that's kind of unfortunate. But that is all for posability and articulation. Now to get onto the accessories. This is going to be the biggest part because, oh boy, I'll bring them in. So, to start off with, we get the first ever, well, not the first ever, they've done it before, but the first ever on this channel, the Matrix of Leadership. Oh, sorry, almost dropped the Matrix. That would have been, oh my god, I am dropping the Matrix. I'm doing an Optimus. But there you go. The Matrix in all of its glory. There you go, you can see it there. So very nice, and due to his articulated fingers, he can actually hold the matrix. If you open up his hands like that, there you go, I'll show you from a top angle, then you can slot the matrix in there, close up his hands, and there you go, Hotrod is ready to attempt to open it. Or give it to Ultra Magnus, whatever's going on in your Transformer story. But I'll put his accessories out here. And actually, before we get on to any more of those accessories, I'll show you what I was talking about in the figure. For the head here, you can lift up the helmet, which makes him look kind of weird, but you can flip down his visor, so you can go, what? And check what's going on in the sky, and find out there are Decepticons, and you can lift up and be ready to blast down some Decepticons, which will lead us to our next accessory, which is these two little, I guess, blue flames. Now these, I think, were more designed for the vehicle mode, but they work well as blast effects as well for Hotrod, due to him having the sort of built-in blasters in his arms. So there you go. You can blast at the Autobot ship containing Decepticons, stopping them from ambushing the Earth City. But put those there. Then we also get this, which is a big effect that attaches to the matrix, and this is actually, there you go, clicks in there nicely. This is to symbolize the matrix being unleashed, or the matrix being opened, which I think they could have saved this for Optimus, but it's nice to include it with Hotrod, so I'll just leave that attached like that for now. Then we're going to need to bring Hotrod back in so I can show you how these other accessories work. We get his saw, which, if you don't remember, is from the scene where he and Cup are in the Quintesson's planet, and they splash into the water there, and they're all stuck and panicking, and all of a sudden a giant octopus attacks them all, and one thing leads to another, and well, Cup needs some help. Anyways, don't worry if you can hear any background noise. Obviously stuff going on at the house. Why can't I remember how the hell you do this? Do you lift up that part? Bear with me a second. Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry. So, you get the figure. He does a bit of like a sassy swivel, and you pull this whole bit down, revealing the arm, swivel that, and away you go with that little joint, which then you can take that little connector bit, connect those together. It's a very tight connection. But there you go, you can have Hotrod ready to chop up some octopus, ready to chop up some reeds, whatever he's cutting. But we're going to quickly take that off now and give him his hand back, so that way you can use the next two accessories. I know there's even more. Comes with two blasters, and they may look the same at first glance. They are not. They are slightly different. They sort of carry the same theme, but they are slightly different. I don't exactly know why we get two, and I don't remember Hotrod ever really using a blaster in the 86 movie, but I'm not going to complain, because more accessories is more accessories. So we chuck these in here, and there you go. Hotrod is ready to go, blasting his way through Decepticons, I'm sure. Anyways, now I'll put the accessories all together so you can see his very large line of accessories. There you are. Now that we've talked about the robot mode for long enough, we'll get straight into the vehicle mode. And here we are at the transformation. Now, don't mind me, I've kind of, speed transformed this guy, so some parts aren't properly connected. But, let me see if I can just shove that into place. There, that's probably the best I'll get there. Oh, sorry, I'm holding it a bit too low. There you go. But I will say, Hotrod does the part well. He is very good in robot mode. Now, I don't know if you can see there. Oh yeah, you can. His face does kind of just sit there looking out through the windscreen, so that's kind of spooky. So maybe you might want to turn his head the other way when doing that. But besides that, his vehicle mode is pretty good, and he can roll, which is always a good test. And now, for his accessories. Oh boy, can he do some weird things with these. Now, start off with the flames, and this is what I sort of mean by me thinking these are more vehicle mode designed. So we put these in here, and there you go. He gets a cool like flame trail for his vehicle, which, you know, doesn't look too bad. So that's always cool. And then we get to his guns. Now, there are multiple ways you can display these. Well, not display, you know, set these up. So you can either have them, sitting in his head like that, where they just kind of sit there. Oh, they kind of like to pop out. But, you know, you get the idea. They both sit in there. I'm just going to take off these flames for now because they're kind of fiddly. Or you can have them sitting at the front here as well. And there you go. They actually like to sit in there a bit better. So put them both in there. There you go. Real crazy looking hot rod. But what if I told you? Oh, there you go. Open that up. He's got a little engine, I guess, in there. But what if I told you these guns combined with this? So you grab these together. I don't remember if the saw goes the other way, if it goes this way, but we're doing it this way. So here we go. These holes here on the other side, and both of these guns' side panels plug into there, and then you get Mad Max Hot Rod. Look at this guy. If these want to plug in, there you go. Look at that. He's ready to cut pizza and blast Decepticons or something. Plug this into his nose as well, if it wants to go in. There you go. Look at him go. Real ready to mess up some Decepticons and chuck these blue flames on him. There you are. I keep holding a bit offside the camera, sorry. Yeah, chuck these blue flames on. And you got one decked out hot rod. But all playing around aside, put the accessories away. Overall, really good robot mode. Well, not robot mode, vehicle mode. I quite like the colors. Again, very, very G1 accurate. When I look at this, I do think of that moment when he's driving towards Galvatron and Galvatron looks into the headlights as he crashes into him, and Galvatron holds him up and he transforms, and it's great. And here's the underkill, by the way, in case you wanted to see that. So, compacts pretty nicely. I don't really think there's too much worry about drag on the floor. Maybe just like with his feet here, want to make sure they're nice and compact, but he's pretty good. I do quite like this vertical mode. It is quite nice. It's just these parts here that can be kind of hard to properly get to clip together, but that might just be me. So yeah, they all connect really nicely though, and again, for transformation, want me to do a video on it, I can separately, but yeah. Also, this video might seem a bit rushed, but it is because he just has so many accessories, and he's one of, like, you know, the most important characters in the 86 cartoon, that I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to give him a flushed out review. So overall though, really, really good vehicle mode. I do like it a lot. And it looks exactly how I remember it. And I think he's ready to, you know, say to ride in style, as he likes to say. So, we'll move back to the robot mode so that we can give you my final thoughts. Okay, and we're back with my final thoughts on 86 Hot Rod. Now, I'll get him just into a default pose, and won't have him spitting fire at you. But I will say, with this figure, I think he does everything he has to. everything the Hot Rod does in the 86 movie, this guy pretty much does. Except for, you know, turning into actual Rodimus, but come on, I mean, there's a Rodimus figure for a reason for that. So, he can do the Matrix transformation though, so can't be too mad. There is nowhere to store the Matrix, I will say. Like, you can't open up his chest or anything, so with that, you're just gonna have to keep that near him. But final thoughts on him, I'd say if you can find him for a good price. I actually bought my one secondhand. If you can find him for a good price, still probably it is another sort of situation where it's kind of up to you, because as good as this figure is, as good as this Hot Rod is, it's very, very likely with Jazz getting a new 86 figure, they're going to do Hot Rod again, especially him being literally the main character of the 86 movie. So they might do another figure of him, they might even do a different paint for him, you never know. But if you're wanting this figure now, ASAP, I'd say definitely make sure you get a decent deal. Don't go out throwing lots of money at this figure, it's definitely not worth that. But if you can find him for a good price and you want a Hot Rod in your collection now, go for it. I think he is worth the while, but if you are just waiting out and you do want him in your 86 collection but you're willing to wait, I'd say he probably will look at getting a re-release or redesign probably sooner than later. Obviously, currently Jazz is the only one we have full confirmation of, but I just say keep an eye on that if you are willing to wait. But I'd also say don't let it wait too long, because if they don't release one soonish and you want one, like, you know, you can wait a little bit, you don't want to wait for too long. This guy is quite old, so he might be harder and dearer to find in the near future. But anyways, wrapping this up, I really, really love this Hot Rod figure, and as much as he did kill literally, I think, most Transformer fans' father in that movie, we gotta forgive him for it, and he's alright. He did alright. But those are my final thoughts on the 86 movie Hot Rod figure. I hope you all enjoyed. This has been your host, Slide, and I'll see ya in the next one.